Hello everyone, this is Jeremias Espinel. Today I'm going to talk about linguistics versus communicative competences. First, what is linguistic competence? Linguistic competence is the system of linguistic knowledge possessed by all native speakers of a concrete language by Nesterenko 2021. This means that native speakers have their own system like grammar, vocabulary, syntax, the way that they order the words. This is called linguistic competence. I can say, if I say name is Jeremias, that wouldn't mean nothing because it doesn't have linguistic competence. But if I say my name is Jeremias, then it has sense. That is linguistic competence. Then we also have communicative competence. Nesterenko says, in order to speak a language correctly, one needs not only to learn its vocabulary and grammar, but also the context in which words are used. So it might be grammatically correct to say, hey, hand me a glass of water. But if I say that to a police officer, that would be tremendous. No one does that, right? We have to see social matters too in communicative competence. So what is the difference? First, focus. Linguistic competence focuses on form and structure. How do we form words and how do we structure those words, right? But communicative competence, in the other hand, uh, they not only use form and structure, but also they go to meaning and context. I have to see the context if that is correct to say in that context, just as I did with the police officer, right? Another thing is the view on errors. In linguistic competence, errors are seen as performance failures. Maybe you were stressed, maybe you were nervous, you didn't say what it was correctly to say, linguistically, grammatically, maybe. But communicative competence errors are often seen as a failure of appropriateness. And again, if I say to a police officer, hey, hand me a glass of water, that would be a disaster, right? So, this is the key. We have to see linguistic competence as a code. It helps us by telling us how to speak in a way that everyone can understand what we are saying. Similar to a code in computers, similar to a blueprint, right? But we have to use this code, this blueprint, in a base, in a social base, right? And we have to construct and we have to have the code in action. Communicative competence shows us that social matters are important. That a grammatically perfect sentence can also be socially disastrous. I can say to that police officer, "Hand me a glass of water," but that will be a tremendous failure. Okay, so we have to take care of social matters too. In summary, linguistic competence is a tool. Is a tool that we have to construct, and the communicative competence is the craftsmanship. It's us that we say what is correctly to say, when it's correctly to say, how do we say it. That is my presentation, and thank you for being in this class. Bye bye.